I'm going to do a video on installing VirtualBox, setting up virtual machines, and installing Linux. It'll probably be 3, maybe 4 videos when it's all said and done. Uh, some note to point out, though, as of today, I did this on August 27th. If you go to virtualbox.org, you get a bad gateway. So I had to actually go to the web archive, archive.org, and go to a snapshot from Friday to get to their actual site. But either way, you go to virtualbox.org or, like I said, through the web archive, and you get to VirtualBox's website. Um, you can either click on the download 7.0 here, or you can come over here and click on downloads. Either way, it should take you to the same spot. So since we're doing this with Linux, we're installing Linux on a Windows operating system. You're going to want to go here to the Windows hosts. And it should download. Um, the other file that you're going to want is this expansion pack right here. And that should download as well. So the reason you want that is it adds features like USB pass-through, more screen resolutions, better support for hardware, things like that. So, um, and I'll pause this now for until those are downloaded. Okay, so they've both downloaded. They would be in your downloads folder. I don't know if that showed up or not, but you get the security screen, um, Windows UAC. So I'm going to minimize those. I don't need the browser anymore. So I've already got Oracle VirtualBox installed. So this will actually be an upgrade for me, but the process is the same for you. So I recommend that you just install everything. Um, takes about uh, doesn't take very much. So they give you the warning. It says that when they install the networking interfaces, they reset your network connections. So you might, if you're online, it might disconnect you. So click yes. Uh, if you're installing the Python stuff, um, so go ahead and click yes. You don't have to install the Python bindings for our Linux class. So um, and then you just click install and it goes through the process. So again, I'll pause. Maybe it's going pretty fast. So I'll pause until it's done. It's finished installing. You can go ahead and leave that checked. Okay. So I got that restart thing. I'll deal with it later on. Um, to create a virtual machine, you can click on New right here, or you can come up to File, uh, New under Machine, either way. So what you'll do for our class is you'll create a new, give it a name. Uh, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. This is um, your name. I'll never see the virtual machine. So if you've already downloaded Ubuntu or whatever Linux image you're using, you can select it. Otherwise, it'll try to determine what you want. You can click on the drop down here and you can choose whichever one you want. Um, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to click on Ubuntu 2204 because I want the latest one. Um, so it says no ISO image selected. It'll need to be installed manually. If you have it, you can select the ISO and it'll actually do the install as part of the creation. So uh, for base memory, give it whatever it recommends. Don't worry about the EFI. So for the hard disk, uh, I always do this. I always pre-allocate the full size. The reason I do that is because it creates a small version of the disk. If you don't, it's called dynamic. It'll create like maybe a 2 GB version of it. And then as you do things, it'll expand it. I'd rather have it all done in one shot. So I always pre-allocate it right now. Click next, click finish, and the process will take a few minutes because it has to create that disk. So as you can see, it's creating it now, creating the medium. This is actually going a lot faster than it normally does. So, but I'll pause it anyways. So the image is created, or the virtual machine is created. The hard drive's allocated and everything's done as far as that goes. Um, it actually only took probably about a minute. So you can go into settings. You can rename it or whatever you want to do there. Under advanced, you can, I would set these to bidirectional. Um, the reason I do that is that way I can just slide in with the cursor in and out, and I can cut and paste and do it seamlessly. System, you could probably uncheck the floppy. You don't need a floppy. Leave optical and hard disk. Um, I wouldn't mess with any of these unless you find an issue with it. Processor, you can, however many cores you want to give it, you can give it that many. You can enable things like the PAE-NX to it. For acceleration, you can leave that. Uh, for display, you can give it some video memory, however much you feel it needs, however many monitors you want it to have, that kind of thing. Um, you can enable 3D acceleration. You don't have to do any of this for this class, but I'm showing you all this. Storage, you'll want to add your ISO here. So you'd click on the plus sign. Actually, you click on there and then click this, and then you can create or choose your ISO file. So, but I'll do that later on when I install it. Audio network, um, you can leave it as NAT or you can set it to bridged or direct. serial port, shared folders. You can set up folders if you need to. But if you've got shared folders and or shared clipboard and drag and drop enabled, you don't need to do that. So, um, okay. So that's it for this video. I will do another video where I install Ubuntu.